Happy Friday. We've done another week. Earl's being very good today. Sat in his bed. Oh, spoke too soon. Probably going to lose him now. It's going to go mad. We've already had, so I need to warn you, I've already had 2 deliveries this morning, but I'm waiting for a third one that apparently is meant to come before 10:30. So I'm afraid all hell could break loose. You'll hear Earl if it comes. And I might need to leave you to go and answer the door, but hey, that's why we do these Facebook Lives from home, I guess. Bit of normality. Okay, good morning. Hope you're all okay on Friday. It's been a long old week, busy week. Hope you're all doing okay. Obviously, we are going to have a little bit longer to go. But don't worry, Kitty and I have put together a plan for the next 2 weeks. So there's lots of bits and pieces coming up. I'm sorry about the dog. I'll shut the door if it gets too much. So today we're going to be doing some knotting with leather and making a really nice little Criss Cross bracelet. I'm going to let you know about some deals that Kitty has put on the website and also the free PDF today. Say hello to everyone. Good morning, good morning Judith. Morning Kitty. Morning Julie. Hi Joe. Hi Dee. Hope you're okay. I am fine, thank you. I hope you're okay too. Morning Karen. Lovely, got a good few of you. Now, in my last video with Kitty, you were all asking about some of the storage that I have in my cupboards and a little tour of the craft room. I did that last night on my Sarah Millsop Facebook page. So if you head over there, you can have a good old nosy through some of my cupboard crafty stash. And how I store it and how I keep it organised. Sheila, thanks for showing us your storage ideas last night. There you go, you're welcome Sheila, thank you. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I've had loads of messages actually, at least 6 of you have said, right, that's it. I am now motivated, I'm cleaning out my craft room today, I'm going to get sorted. So good luck with that, let me know how you get on. Morning Julie from sunny but windy Lincolnshire. Yeah, it is, isn't it? I haven't taken the dog out yet, I'm going to do that next. I wonder where you are in Lincolnshire, let me know. Hi Paula, morning Angela, hi Kate, morning Paula, hi Chris. As usual, you bring joy to my day. Oh, thank you Chris, you all bring joy to my day. I'm on my own for the next week and a bit. John is working, Beth's gone back to her mum's, so I am just knuckling down with DIY and work. So you're all keeping me company too, so thank you so much. Don't think that you're the only ones that get something from this. I absolutely love having our little catch-up chats. So I'm going to be with you for the next 2 days as well. So tomorrow we are going to be constructing and making a beaded orchid. Let me show you what we're going to do today, first of all. So these are the bracelets that we're going to do today. I did give you a little sneak peek last night. So these are really beautiful leather bracelets, but it's got a little bit of a twist. So all we need to do is learn how to position some nice knots. I'm going to show you how to use jump rings, or you could use split rings or soldered rings to create this really lovely pattern. You could also use silicone rings if you have any of those as well. It's a really lovely take. It almost gives you a sort of macrame look, but without all the faff, which is nice sometimes. So that will be button clasps with cords is your free PDF download today. So head over to the Totally Beads website. The categories down on the left hand side, there is one in there called free projects. This is your one for today. Now they do expire within 24 hours because tomorrow at 10 we're going to be doing something else. So for today, that will be your project. Now, Simon has just messaged me and said he has also added in my Criss Cross necklaces. So we launched these, I have no idea how long ago, maybe about a month. And they're really lovely, even if I do say so myself, really lovely crystal necklaces that use the same sort of technique and pattern as the bracelet that we're going to make today. So we've got gorgeous crystal rondelles and some clusters of jump rings in the middle. So in the actual pattern and the kit, I teach you how to make a mobius flower. So that's using our chainmail. And we're going to use these as clusters in between. So you can see we've got 3 different colours. There's the blue, which goes with the hematite findings and chain. You've got chain in there. There's tiger tail, there's culottes, crimp beads, your jump rings, and of course all your crystals. And there's enough in there, depending on how big you want to make your necklace. I would say to make 2 complete necklaces, or 3 if you do smaller sections in the centre. They are normally $14.99 and Simon has put them on offer for $15.99. So if you like the bracelet and you want to do a nice necklace to match, or you want to use the same components, if you've got some leather cord, I think they've put leathers in there as well, you could actually get the Criss Cross necklace kit and then use those crystals to make a leather bracelet with, so you can extend it and make a whole set of jewellery. I've missed loads of your comments, so I'm going to go back before I turn it down. Julie, I'm near Boston. Oh, lovely. I'm in between Spalding and Holbeach, so I'm not too far away from you. We looked at a few houses in Boston, but it was a little bit too far from the family. Morning, Lucy. Lovely to see you again. You too. How's your beading getting on? Are you getting going? I know you were going to start and get a few kits, so give me an update. Let me know how it's going. Morning, Chef. Hi, Dorothy. Morning, Debbie. Hi, Dorothy. Another Dorothy. Morning, Paula. Thank you for doing all the lives and keeping us busy crafting. You are more than welcome. You're keeping me busy too. It's going well. Margaret. Morning, honey. Morning, Mum. That's my actual mum. I know a few of you have been adopting me over the last couple of weeks, but actual mum is here this morning. Hi, Tracy from Southend-on-Sea. Quite sunny here. Oh, lovely. I do have the sun, but we've got quite a lot of wind as well. Morning, Angela, doing diamond painting. Love it. I obviously work with Craft Buddy and do some of the crystal art as well, so that's a great pastime. I know Mum's been doing a lot of that. Morning, Jill. Thanks for the show round last night. Went looking for Billy bookcases. They are perfect. So I've got 3 of the Billy bookcases from IKEA. I don't know if you can get home delivery at the moment with them. I need IKEA to open up soon though, because I buy all my glasses from IKEA and I'm very clumsy, so I break at least 1 or 2 a week, and I'm getting down to the bare minimum. I'm drinking from mugs and all sorts. Diamond painting while I watch, Angela. Oh, lovely. Enjoy. Have a nice relaxing morning. Morning, Natalie, my now sister. I sent pictures yesterday. Oh, lovely. I will have a little look through. Okay, so let's get going. I'll give you a little sneak peek for the next couple of days at the end. For now, this is what we're going to be doing. Now, some of you will have this kit from your USBs. So if you do, run and go and find it and we'll make along together. Okay, so I'm going to turn you down. Let's have a look. I'm going to try and keep an eye on comments as well. And I'm just going to shimmy round and block out some of this beautiful sun. Although it's lovely, it's not great for video angles. Okay, so I have my lovely white leather here. Now, Simon and Kitty have added some of the leather into the free section, because I know a lot of you are getting the PDF downloads, but then struggling to find all the materials that you need. So we're going to keep it really nice and simple for you. Go to free projects and you're going to find everything in there. So I'm going to add on a lovely, I've got a little pewter button here. This is going to act as my clasp. So just make sure that if you are using a button, that it's sizable enough that, of course, you can put it on and off quite easily, but not too big that it's not going to overpower the look of the bracelet either. Let me just have a look. Natalie, IKEA will deliver some things that are two-man items. Oh, not two-man items. Oh, okay, you might be lucky then. We can get some more bookcases and get started. Lucy, not started yet, just finishing my diamond art. Once that's done, I'll be starting my jewellery USBs. Lovely. Keep us updated. Morning, Doris. Second mum here from North Wales. Hi, second mum. Look at us all. We're one big family now, aren't we? Okay, so your leather, we're going to double it over. Button into the middle of the bracelet, and with the length of your leather, this isn't going to be like macrame, so we're not going to lose any length. My piece here is rather excessive, but you normally need about just under an inch for knots, of which I'm going to make three of them in the main body and then 2 on the end. But your leather bracelets, you don't want to have too tight. You want them to be sort of moving up and down your arm. This is a bit excessive, but you can measure it around your wrist. Morning, Karen. Mum, could you maybe put your lamp on, Hannah, as it's very dark? Oh, okay. Let's have a little look-sees. Thanks, Mum. Keeping me good. Let's have a look and we'll put this ring light on. Sorry, it's dark, guys. I haven't got blinds or curtains up in the study yet, so I'm kind of just... Right, how is that, everyone? Is that going to give us a bit more light? Hopefully. Unfortunately, because the comments get in the way, I can't actually see what you end up seeing. So let's see if this helps. Right, let me know, guys, if that's better. Let's turn this up. Okie dokie. So, Button down into the middle, and then I'm going to tie a knot. So we're going to learn how to position knots. So just an overhand knot, but I'm going to keep it really, really large. And then with my dominant hand, so right hand, if you're left, then you could, oh good, it's better, lovely. If you take your dominant hand, use your index finger and your thumb just to kind of squeeze that knot down the cord. And I'm using my leftover fingers to just push it down. So you'll see I'm pulling the cord through. Excellent. Everyone's saying the light's good. That's good stuff. Thanks, Mum. I will use this every morning now. Christine, good morning, Sarah. Had a problem to get your live video today. Not sure why. Oh, I think Facebook is being a bit tricky at the moment. Good morning, Camille. Raining over your way. Oh, be good for the garden. Helen, that's good. Lovely. Okay, so we're all set up. Right, so you can see as I've positioned that knot and I've just been wringing it down to get down to the base and as near to the button as I can get. Now, you do want some movement in your button. Don't do it so that it's so rigid you can't move it, because that's going to make wearing it a little uncomfortable and also putting it on and off quite tricky. So you want it to be secure and not too much movement, but not rigid. Okay, and then we are ready to start with our pattern. So I have these rings today. Now, they're not actually jump rings because they are solid rings. So they are completely soldered together. Let's get rid of the dog bed. You don't need to be seeing that, do you? They're completely soldered together. And then we have these lovely metallic spacer beads. So quite large holes. If you have thinner thread, you could probably use bigger seed beads like size 8 or a size 6. E-beads are perfect for it because of course the holes are bigger, and of course you could be using any bead so long as it fits onto your leather cord. Now then, when you're using your cord, just take your cutters or some scissors if it's a thinner thread, take the end, and you can either glue it if you need to, if it's going to fray, or just take your cutters and your scissors and just point to a little needle-like tip. And that's going to make it easier to thread on your beads and also prevent the ends from fraying, because if you have a blunt square end, you keep on butting it up against the beads, we're going to start to get frays, and then of course you'll chop, 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 and you'll end up with less. Morning, Catherine from Ireland. Hi, how are you all over there? Hope you're okay. Morning, Rachel. Okay, so we're going to start with our pattern. Onto one thread, I'm going to add one of my spacer beads. And then onto both of my strands, I'm going to bring them together. I'm going to add a jump ring. And then we'll move this down. And what we'll start to get is this lovely sort of criss-cross pattern. So I'm going to add beads onto alternate ones, and in between I'll add a spacer bead onto both. So you can either keep on moving them down to keep you right, or you can just keep them in the right space and you can add a few on at the same time. So a bead onto one and a ring onto both. Bead onto one, ring onto both. And you'll see I've slightly staggered the length of my cords at the end because it makes it easier to pop your jump rings on. So that way I'm linking it onto the longer end first, bringing it together, and that other one comes in. And by keeping them up here, I can keep an eye on which side needs to go next. Just make sure you haven't crossed them over at the very beginning. And then we'll move it down. And look at the pattern that we start to achieve. It's so simple, but really effective. Morning, Lynn from Devon. How are you down there? Hope you're doing okay. You've got nice weather, maybe managing some walks along the beach. I'm not sure. How are you keeping sane down there? Let us know. Has anyone been making the projects from previous videos as well? If you head over to the Totally Beads Totally Handmade group, lots of you are sharing pictures in there, keeping everyone inspired, letting us know what you're making. It's been so lovely to see you all sharing, and it's been amazing to see the group grow since we've been doing these Facebook Lives as well. It's not a salesy group, it's just a really nice little social space for everyone to be inspiring and motivating each other, and sharing all your pics, which is lovely. Kitty and I absolutely love to see it. And of course, if you have any questions, if you get stuck on anything, then you can use that as your little lifeline to Kitty and I, and we'll help you out as much as we can. Okay, so I'm just going to keep on growing this. It's really nice and therapeutic because you don't really need to concentrate too much. It's not tricky. You'll see I'm not even using any tools, so it's a great little one to start with. Oh, look, I've gone wrong there. That was close. Morning, Lynn. Hi, Doris. Doris, friendly group. Yeah, it's really lovely, isn't it? Lynn, keeping well down here. Raining today, but still warm. Oh, that's nice. Excellent. Okay, so let's move these down. Just keep an eye if you are going on the end like I am. Just make sure that you're not making any errors. Oh, look, it's so pretty. So when you're using the metal spacer beads as well, it just gives you almost a shop bought look. It gives you a really professional finish. And I think for someone to be able to make this as one of potentially your first projects, it's a very impressive finish. And of course you can make it in so many different colours. You can add different beads into it. You won't get the crisscross effect if you're using different sizes of beads. So you'll want to try and keep, I suppose if you had beads that were half the size, you could do little clusters of 2 and then use some bigger beads. That would work. But we're not securing anything in place. So it's literally just threading them on and having a little play. If the pattern doesn't work, take it off and start again. You don't need to be worried about new little projects like these. These are just lovely little quick fixes. They make beautiful little friendship bracelets, which are, of course, a lovely gift and sentiment. Starting on the right. They'll make really lovely little friendship bracelets. They'll make lovely little gifts. And I'm going to show you how you can actually make extra holes at the clasp. So if you don't have somebody's specific measurements or you want to do these to sell, you can actually make them adjustable. So again, if you are getting ahead during the time at home, making some stock, if you're planning on Christmas fairs, I guess we'll have some summer fates, hopefully, providing we are all fit and healthy by the summer. But it's a great time to just get ahead of some of the projects that you ordinarily would try and squeeze into spare time. Jean, lovely and sunny in Essex. Oh, Jean, that was my grand's name. That's one of my middle names. Lovely. Glad it's sunny in Essex. Camille, can you do some for men, please? And thank you. Yeah, well, these would be ideal for men. If you did them in sort of like hematite colours, you could do thicker, darker cords. This is a really good one for that. Marion, what size rings could you use? O beads. Learnt spiral from Kitty and loving it. Also from Sunny Island. Oh, lovely. What rings could you use? So any of your rings will do, so long as they will fit onto a double cord. So, and your beads, you just need to have the right size hole for the cord. So your hole of the bead needs to fit the width of your cord or thread that you are using. The jump rings, they will work exactly the same, Lynn. Thanks for doing these demos, really enjoying watching. Lovely, thank you. Jump rings would work the same so long as you completely close the connector and you use a thicker cord than the hole that you have. So don't thread it onto something like an S-lon or a thread, which wouldn't be strong enough to do this with anyway. You could do it with S-lon, but you'd probably need a bit of macrame to hold it in. So the reason obviously the soldered closed rings are good is because they're not going to come off at all. With your normal jump rings, just make sure you close them really nice and properly so they're not going to unthread, and you are using a reasonably thick cord so that we won't lose them at all. But yes, jump rings just need to fit double the width of your cord, and beads just need to fit onto one of them. I know now that so many of you are going to go and raid your cupboards after this and see what you've got. Please share pictures afterwards, because it is a really nice simple technique, but depending on the beads that you use, you get such different finishes. So remember, you're going to need a spacer bead, a reasonably large button, big enough to be able to hold, and your jump rings to fit double the width of the cord that you're using. Leather, you could use a waxed cord, things like that as well. And then share your pics. Love to see. Head over onto the Totally Beads Facebook page. One of the groups is called Totally Handmade, and you'll be able to share your pickies in there afterwards as well. Okay, so I think I've probably got long enough. I've been rabbiting on long enough now to get the length that I need. Maybe a little bit short. So when you measure it up, you want to make sure that you're leaving enough space in between for our knots. So I'm going to add on just a couple of more clusters. Left one, so right one next. I'm going to add on a couple more clusters just to gain that little bit more length. And then we're ready to, again, position our knots, and I will show you how to make your loop so that it will loop onto our button. And also keeping it adjustable as well. So if you want to start gifting these. Sarah, morning Sarah, apologies for being late. That's okay, Sarah. Have you been busy? So you can go onto the Facebook page afterwards once I finish the video, and it will jump back all the way to the beginning. And you can hear me rabbit on for a bit longer. Hi Angela, can you say hello to my granddaughter Hannah? Trying to get her into jewellery making. Hi, morning Hannah. Hopefully this will be a project to make Granny Angela very proud. Would this be one that you could start with? I think these are really lovely. It does give you a really nice youthful take. So depending on how old the kids are, of course, you could make them really fun and vibrant. You could make it look very shop bought. This looks very sort of Thomas Sabo or Links of London because I'm using these sort of colours. Perfect. So you could make them look a very high street and designer as well. Jill, I've just received my lavender kit. Oh, amazing. Oh, I hope you enjoy. Please send me pickies when you're done. And Jill, just for you, I am doing a lavender video tomorrow morning. So Jill has been begging me to do some workshops, and of course I just haven't got round to it. So Jill, I'm doing it so that we can make it together. Morning Mina, hi. Okay, so we're ready to now create the knot. I'm just going to turn around a little bit more. Let's have a little look. Jane, morning Sarah, the sun is trying to peek through in Yorkshire. Love this design. Oh, I hope it comes out for you. You can have a nice little afternoon in the garden. Okay, so I've measured it up to the length of my wrist, or to the width of my wrist I should say. So that's going to be absolutely perfect. I'm going to create the loop so that I can have my button clasp. So make sure that you finish on the alternate side and on a bead, not a jump ring. So when I bring this together, it's going to have a lovely complete little finish. So I'm going to tie a knot as near to the beads as I can. Just make sure that you are nice and neat. There's no twists, there's no beads or loops missing. Push it all the way down and you'll be good to go. So I'm going to hold these in place so I'm ready to tie my knot. I'm getting my lavender kit today. Got the rose but haven't started yet. Oh, lovely. Do send me pics and send me messages if you're stuck with anything. I can help you through, but I really hope you enjoy them. I personally love them, obviously, or else I wouldn't have designed them for you. Camille, I forgot to say, I got your lovely toolkit. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Camille. I hope you're getting on well with it. I do, again, absolutely love mine. It's all the bits and pieces that I found I really needed all the time. Excuse Earl, trying to get into the action. So hopefully you will find it really useful like I do. Okay, so again, positioning that knot. I've kept a big oversized knot. Again, just double check there's no gaps in the bracelet. Using your index finger and your thumb, and I'm kind of wringing that knot through, pulling the excess through with my remaining fingers. And so I can pull that nice and tightly, and you can position the knot nice and close to the beads. If it doesn't quite go tight enough, once you are in the right place, just take either side of your cord, because sometimes you can get a larger loop. I mean, this is looking quite nice and neat. Sometimes you can get a bigger loop, so just pull both of them through so that they both sink down as much as possible. Morning, Andrea. I purchased one of your kits at a show at Olympia. I have made lots with them and love them. Oh, fantastic. Do share pictures. Let us know how you're getting on with it. Okay, so as you can see, because I've sized, or Kitty rather, because Kitty put this one together, because she sized the leather and all your beads in the right way, the knot isn't going to dominate that design. So it's going to just really beautifully add just that little bit more dimension into the design, but nothing is overpowering it. So just make sure with your beads and your thickness of cord that you're getting that sort of balance. Dorothy, waiting for my lavender, hoping it will arrive today. Love your toolkit and the rose kit too. Thank you so much. I'm going to try and, without cutting anyone off, I must look out for this kit. It's gorgeous. Oh, thanks, Dorothy. Yes, so Kitty is adding these onto the website. They're in the free project section, so you can be making these as well. There's lots of metallic spacer beads. There's some even acrylic ones on the website. Go and have a little nosy and start designing your own ones. Okay, so I'm going to now make a loop that is going to fit my button. Because, in fact, I've got one finished here. What we're going to have is the button as a clasp, like so, and just a nice little loop. So again, positioning and getting even cord is going to give you a lovely professional finish, and you want to make sure that your loop is going to be big enough to fit your button in. So again, keeping my my cords nice and flat, my tension there so I've got no gaps, creating that larger loop, and I keep both of my cords together all the way round because that is going to give you a really neat knot. And again, keep it looser until you know exactly where you want it to be. So I will bring my button around. You can even put your button through and then tie the knot, or I like to half put it through because that is going to give me the width of my button. You want it to be tight enough that it's going to stay on your wrist, but loose enough, obviously, that you can still add that button in. So that is going to do for me. I'm going to remove that, and I use my index finger and my thumb on my other hand to mark where I want it to be. So this is going to stop while I'm squeezing this one down and positioning it. This is going to keep my position. So that's my marker point. So I'm working down towards those. Okay, so nice neat knot because I haven't crossed any of them over, and then hopefully perfect. So I like to be able to have to squeeze it through a little bit so that you know it's going to be on there nice and tight. And once that is in, it's going to give you a really neat finish like so. Okay, so let's take this one off. Probably done it a little bit too tight. So I'm going to roll it away just to make that a little bit bigger. So I'm pulling the knot down, and that will give me a little bit more space. Remember, at the end of the day, it's only a knot. That's better. It's only a knot. If it goes wrong and it's not in the right place, undo it. Easy peasy. Morning, Paula. Which USB is this on, please? This is on number 3. No, I think it's on number 2. Kitty will be watching. Kitty will keep me right. I get dates wrong. I get numbers wrong. I'm rubbish. I'm sorry. But Kitty keeps me good. She will tell you. I think it's on number 2. Okay, so we have now got our loop. Now, if you want to sell these or you want to gift them and you don't know what size the recipient or your customer is going to be wearing, you can replicate this further down. And then once the customer gets it, USB 2. Thank you. Oh, Doris is on it as well. She's been doing it. USB 2, Paula. So once your customer gets it, or the person you are gifting it to has it, you can then tell them to just trim off whichever of the loops they don't need. I've bought some lovely leather wrap bracelets in the past, and again it comes with 2 or 3 loops so that you can size it up, and then they just trim off whatever you don't need. So you would just replicate the same loop again. So here, tie your knot, and then that would make it extendable. Okay, so that is it. I'm now going to finish the end. I'm going to add on a spacer bead on either side. Morning, Paula. Natalie, me too. Excellent. Okay, so pop these down like so. And then I'm going to tie a knot on both of them. And this will just give you a nice little neat finish. So I'm going to stagger the length of them so that one is a little bit shorter. Again, using my index finger and my thumb on my non-dominant hand to hold that marker place. My dominant hand is then going to create that knot and just slide it up. So pulling that extra cord away and bringing it up. And I'm going to pull this one really nice and tightly because I want it to shrink down as small as it will go, and that will act as a lovely little stopper. Now you could add a little bit of glue onto these if you wanted to. Always cut your cords at an angle. It's going to give you a more professional and neater finish. And then this one, Let's make it a little bit longer so that they hang staggered. Bringing it through. And pulling that knot. Keeping it nice and small. Morning, Lindsay. Just caught the end as currently working from home. Me too. You can always go back onto the page and you can have a look at the video from the beginning. Dorothy, I like this better than the, I think is that meant to be chainmail? Better than the chainmail one? Yeah, I absolutely love this look. It's really lovely. And it's a really nice modern take on it as well. I mean, I love wearing sort of leather cords and things like that too. Morning, Sarah. Just had a look and it says USB 1 Project 25 button clasp with cords. There's multiple button and clasp cord projects. This specific one is on USB 2. So this is actually one of the kits that would be in your big bundle. And this is one of the exact designs from USB 2. USB 1 will probably show you how to just make a little button clasp. Okay, so there's your completed bracelet. Really nice and simple to put on yourself. So you're just going to link it through, pop that button into the middle of the cord. Here's me saying it's easy to do. And now you watch, I'm going to struggle doing it. But I'm doing it with my left hand, that's why. And I'm also trying to read. Oh, sorry, it's USB 1. Oh, Jackie, you are right. Oh, Kitty, we caught you off guard this morning. You need another coffee. USB 1. Thank you, Jackie. Who got us right? Jackie, well done. There we go. And we're on. So if you wanted to trim these down, of course you can. You could actually just finish it on the button if you don't want to have the extra droplets. But as you can see, it's a really beautiful linked bracelet, and you could of course create lots of them to have a little cluster. But it's a really nice sort of designer finish when you're using things like the metallic clasps and spacer beads. So there you go. That is your make along for today. I'm going to turn you up. Hello. Okay, so tomorrow we are going to be working on an orchid. I absolutely love them. Now, I've got a huge one that sits in my study. I will show you all of them tomorrow. And then I wanted to make a smaller one. So we've actually had a couple of orchid workshops. Lovely if you came along to those. I can't remember how long they were, maybe 3 or 4 hours. We had about 16 ladies finish an entire orchid in the whole session. It was beautiful to see. We looked like a floristry shop at the end of it. It was gorgeous. So I had made a really large orchid once upon a time, and I wanted to make a smaller one so that I could teach them in workshops. So I actually bought just one of the little mini ones that they said, I think I got it from M&S at the time. You know, when they do the little flower stands at the start of the shops. So this is one that I replicated. Now, I've just pulled this out the cupboard this morning, so it does need a little bit of tweaking. I'll get it perfect for tomorrow. So I replicated it and made a little orchid. This is the same. So it was really good because it gave me all the little buds, all the little petals. This is what we're going to do tomorrow. So we won't have time to make the whole thing because it does take me hours and hours. But what I will show you is how to create the shape of leaf, how to create, or the shape of petal, how to create the shape of the leaf, and then I have some pre-made buds. I'll show you how to do the buds and the flowers. Will probably be an hour or so tomorrow, if you can put up with me for a little bit longer, but I want to make sure I try and show you as much as possible. So I'm going to be using size 11 seed beads. They're craft, size 10, I think they are actually, the craft beads. You could make them out of things like Delicas, Tohos, Miyukis, but to be honest, I prefer the craft beads. It just gives you a little less uniformed look, and it would cost you a lot of money because you do need a lot of seed beads. So the bags that we normally sell the Forever Flowers kits in, for example, the rose kit that you've heard people talking about, the lavender kit, you get like 130 grams of seed beads in them. So when you start looking at things like Toho, that equates to a lot of money. So they are a really beautiful Chinese seed bead, but they're very high quality. Hence, beautiful effects like this. So that is tomorrow. let me just have a look at you all because I've had loads of comments before I leave you. Lindsay, looking forward as tomorrow's a day off. Yay! Well deserved, I am sure. Thank you, Sandy. Camille, thanks again for all these shows. You and Kitty are brilliant. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Thank you so much. You too, Camille. Dorothy, sewn around cords. Oh, yes, got ya. I know what you mean. When you do the leather wrap bracelets, sewing around them, that's very time consuming and it's tricky because you're battling with all these threads. Natalie, thank you to you and Kitty and looking forward to seeing you guys soon. Oh, you too, Natalie. Stay safe. Lucy, will Kitty we'll have the lavender kits that you had on Create and Craft the other week. I missed out. Lucy, just give Simon and Kitty, don't call them. They won't be in the warehouse. Give them a message. Either on Facebook, you can message through or send an email and I'm sure they will try and raid the warehouse and see if we've got any left for you. Doris, yes, saying it's USB 1, thank you. Jill, looking forward to it. You are so kind and generous with your knowledge. Oh, thank you, Jill. You're more than welcome. Sorry I couldn't do it in person with a workshop. Julie will be here watching tomorrow no matter how long. Excellent. I'll put the kettle on. I'll make sure I do a pot of coffee. It'll be a long one tomorrow. Kate, thanks for the tutorials. Really brilliant. Kitty, yes, going on tomorrow. Oh, is that the lavender going on tomorrow? Okay. Lavender kits will be on tomorrow. We might have a couple of rose kits as well, I'm not sure. But the seed beads will be available so that you can make the orchids too. We have things like the soft gauge wire that we're going to be using and also floristry tape. So I'll have a word with Kitty and Simon afterwards. We'll see how much is going on the website. And then on Sunday, no days off here. We're here every day. 10 o'clock on the Facebook Live. I'm going to be using... Oh, come on. These magnetic clasps are beautiful, but when you're trying to show multiple ones, they all stick together. I'm going to be showing you, untwist, these beautiful bracelets. These are bicone and jump ring bracelets, also using split rings, magnetic clasps, and also the... wire protectors at the end and tiger tail. So I'm going to be using these. Some of you may have these kits already. It's time to get them out and start using them. We're going to make along together on Sunday. Kitty, we will have 3 colours: English lavender, French lavender and cottage garden lavender. How posh are we? Amazing. So that will be on the website tomorrow. Lucy, you're so excited already. Lovely. Thank you for a fab tutorial. Mina, you are more than welcome. So we're getting posh with lavender and beaded flowers tomorrow. I'm so glad Kitty and Simon are keeping on top of the orders absolutely brilliantly. Everyone in the warehouse is working. They're doing split shifts, so there's not many people in the warehouse at once. Kitty and Simon go in every other day. They're doing a really good job of keeping everyone safe, but also keeping all of you guys supplied with the orders that you are placing as well, and we are eternally grateful. Doris, you are such a good teacher. Love watching you and explain everything so simple. Oh, Doris, thank you so much. You're all so lovely. It's been a beautiful morning with you all. I will be back tomorrow at 10 to make our orchids. I hope you enjoy. Have a lovely rest of the day. Some of you are rainy. Get in, just get crafting. Some of you have the sun. Enjoy it while you can. And I will see you tomorrow morning. Lots of love, everyone. Stay safe. I will see you at 10 o'clock tomorrow.